but still being a dreamer kind of like restricts me from it's kind of ironic, it restricts me from dreaming.
I want the children that are growing up in the United States to be dreamers also. They're not dreaming right now.
When someone's coming here, more times than not, they're coming because they're trying to get a better situation.
I get a phone call, and my sister told me that they got him. And I said, what do you mean they got him?
Day one, we end a border policy which allows federal agents to snatch babies from the arms of their mothers.
What they want is to turn the United States of America into the United Socialist States of America.
When I heard about America, for me it was like paradise. It was a place where there was no pain, there was no problem, there was no issues.
The beautiful coloring of our country that is happening at a faster pace is creating fear.
USA! USA! USA!
This man who struck these two women, he was deported 8 times.
These incredible women who lost their daughters and their sons.
That's unfair to say someone's a racist because they take a position.
Life is so hard in Haiti or in the country that they had before, they'll take the risk of getting caught. Like, it's almost like all or nothing.
All the data that I've seen indicates that crime is higher in a sanctuary city than in a non-sanctuary city.
There's rules, there's regulations, there's laws.
Like at the end of the day, you know, I'm just like you.
I am you.
I am
You.
you.
In the end, we remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Welcome back to another episode of The Conversation. Listen, we've had such a fun time throughout this whole day, just interviewing different candidates. You know, really got a chance to know different people, meet different people for the first time. So really excited about our next guest, Eugenie Kavanagh. Did I pronounce your name right?
Yes.
Listen, first and foremost, thank you for coming on. Welcome to the podcast and The Conversation. And you're a candidate for mayor. So first and foremost, thank you so much. And I really admire everyone's courage who puts their name on the ballot, because that takes courage, it takes sacrifice, and everyone's doing that. So I want to say thank you for doing that.
Thank you. And thank you for having me. And not only just me, just hosting this for the community, because this is something that I know the community would definitely love. It brings on to who we are as a person and what it is that we're bringing forward. And I don't remember seeing you 2 years ago. And if you were out there, I do apologize. Mm-hmm. But this is something that I know that the community would definitely love.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. So I first, I just want the community just to get to know you. So talk about yourself, to kind of talk about your background. And what made you decide that you want to run for mayor?
For me, I am a single parent that have been in a community for about 7 years. I spent 13 years in the military, with my father spending over 22 years in the military. Both my parents are immigrants. They came from Haiti. And La Boule.
There you go.
Yeah.
How's
pretty smart speaker too.
How's the family doing? I know is everyone okay?
Yeah, everything is fine.
Right.
Both my kids did have COVID. My youngest one had it really bad, where he was hospitalized for over 2 weeks, but he's literally recovering from it.
Good.
But a little bit more about me is I've been active in the community, fighting since 2017 around education funding, which now we see the Student Opportunity Act. It wasn't just me alone, it was other organizations. I operated out of the Brockton Interfaith community. They had MIA there, they had a couple of unions that was part of it, Brockton United with Isabel Lopez in there. So it was a lot of people inside the community pushing forward that initiative, as well as education reform through Restoration Community Action Ministry. That is the church that I go to. I've been there for about maybe 4 years now, serve on hospitality faithfully, and been part of the conversations of redistricting here for Brockton, and as well as been part of the housing crisis through City Life Viva Urbana. I've been through a lot of initiatives and pushing forward the values that the community has been demanding and haven't been seeing through the years. I also have been part of civic engagement, civic education, part of the census, really been out there, been through a lot. So I don't remember everything. I don't care to get recognized for them. I just know, after one thing is another. We're actually about to start the TAPS tomorrow with the Haitian consulate that's coming down. So, and we're going to do a vaccination clinic as well. So that's something that is I'm really excited about, to go down and see that, as well as both of the Haitian passports. We're going to be pushing that effort throughout the month of September as well. Yeah.
Absolutely.
A little bit more about me is that I do have a degree in human service. I graduated from Massasoit, and a degree in social work from Bridgewater State University. I also own my own business, and how that came about is that I started to see a lot of the youths out there being kicked out of their homes because parents just couldn't identify on how to address the children inside the home. A lot of mental health stigmas going around, suicide ideation, a lot of social emotional learning. I also been part of giving out to the homeless population downtown throughout the year. You might see me walking around with a red cooler, handing out water and soda to them. Yes.
So listen, definitely have a wealth of experience in advocacy and doing different things in the community. Why decide to run for mayor?
Because everything that I just said, it is a constant fight with public officials that claim that they want to do something, but yet nothing has been addressed. They've been creating tables with no real action. And the city of Brockton is really frustrated at there's no clear-cut action. We keep demanding, we keep paying our taxes, and we keep voting them in, but yet no real action. We keep paying our money. We constantly keep on fighting, but yet they say that they're for us and they're not for us. So I finally got tired of it and just said, I am just gonna go ahead and just take that chance and just run. And I'm gonna run knowing that who I am as a person, that how I have been out in the community, and then I will push this forward because I have been out in the community. It's not just going out there to go get your vote and saying this, it's really going out in the community and understanding the community. Because what I'm seeing is that public officials are stating that, yeah, they know the community, but they're making decisions based off the community that are not for the community. And a lot of folks are really tired of that. A lot of folks are tired of seeing public officials not reading the agendas or not being prepared for meetings and just going in there and making decisions that are based off of us, for us, and they do not even apply to us, and they haven't even read what was on the agenda, or they're not prepared. They're making decisions that is going to affect not only us, but our generations. And that's not okay, because it's putting us as a community in a downfall. Our Brockton right now is not looking like the City of Champions. And that's not fair to the City of Champions. That's not fair to those residents that have been here for generations.
Talk about action steps. So you're saying there's no action. What are your action steps to get things done if you're elected mayor?
For one, I'm going to start with the police. After the riot, I seen the riot and I stood back, and as somebody that's a soldier, I just couldn't take it. Community versus police, where I'm starting to see that it's either community or it's police. But we can actually have both. We can have a real table, not what has been created with just specific people at the table, but people that look like the community that's sitting at that table, residents of all ages.
Why is that important?
It's important because those are who's, number one, that's paying the police. It's their tax dollars. And number two, that's who they're arresting. If we have the use of force policy governed around and reformed how we need it to look like to represent us, I'm not saying, no, it's not supposed to say, oh, do not arrest people. No. But if you cannot sit down here and have favoritism, you cannot sit down here and profile. And that is honestly what's going on. And when we have people that look like us who's being arrested at that table, we have a value and we have a stake at that table. Currently, we don't have anybody at that table except for an organization and pastors. That does not represent Brockton. That's not the youth. And we're not teaching the youth the law. Yes, officers want to sit down here and say, well, you cannot, this is what the law is. And in order for us to understand the law, we need to know the law. We cannot just say, hey, this is what you don't want us to do. How is it that we don't know what to do? Not saying we don't know what to do, but we need a clear cut. We need our youth to understand and our adults to understand what is the law. And in that way, you're teaching us, and we're better equipped to go out there and understanding. So when we do break the law, it is something that we actually do understand. And I'm not saying that they got to give us the whole education that they're giving us, but give us the basic law. So when we do come across that, we know how to approach it.
What are some other action steps that you do? And kind of, what are some step one, step two of your vision for the city how you want it to look like, and how would you be able to achieve that?
I definitely, as far as the table, I definitely would love to see somebody that is very diverse at that table. Not a public official, not someone that has been in the public realm, not a police officer or a retired officer. Someone that is young and vibrant and have great ideas on how to move the community forward into getting people engaged into that realm. Also, we need to address the homeless population. They currently cannot apply for certain things because they do not have IDs. So it's getting them some IDs in order for them to get their resources available to them, as well as having more transitional homes, but not in the typical way that we have it. Now, Father Bills has an amazing program, but we need to create more of what he has and add more resources into it, where we're not only just having that temporary shelter, because currently, even though it is temporary, folks are staying in them on a more permanent basis. So what we need to do is get more structures of transitional homes out here with resources on how, first of all, getting some IDs. Second of all, job training, skills training. We also need to get them into housing. How do you maintain a house? Some drug treatment plans, because some folks, yes, it's housing first, but then we need treatment first as well. And we can incorporate both of them at the same time, saying, hey, if you come into this program, you are going to get this treatment. We're going to open up AA meetings, as well as other resources that they need in order to better equip them and have them have a budget plan and letting them understand what does a real budget look like on an everyday basis, how to manage food stamps, because currently right now they're using their food stamps to purchase drugs, and that is not okay, because that is taxpayers' money paying for their drugs, and we do not pay for drugs. We do not have them come from a drug treatment facility from all the way from our surrounding towns and stay here inside of our city. That is not okay. We definitely need to send them back to where they came from, because other cities are just throwing them on top of us, and that's not okay, because us, the taxpayers, are paying for that. And on top of that is those folks that need that homeless shelter that's not receiving it. Good people that are not on drugs. Some of them have to be away from their family into child protective services, and that's another resource that we can add into that, and how to better equip yourself as a single parent, as a whole. Life journey programs, teen parenting. The Brockton Family Resource Center has amazing programs, and it's implementing some of those services as well throughout that program as well.
So it sounds like one of your big initiatives, if you're mayor, is the homeless population.
Yes, it is.
And really, really being able to give them services that they need. There's a few other candidates. Why you? Why should they choose you as opposed to the other candidates?
Why me? Because number one, not only have I been through the system to understand the system, and I have the experience as a social worker inside of case management, I can definitely understand that it's not what they classify as downtrodden people. They're human beings, and we're looking at them in such a way as if they are not humans. They're less than, and we need to stop looking at them as less than and equip them with what it is that they need, as well as sending them back to their communities that they came from, because it's not fair to those residents that's here to have to constantly keep moving them and it be another wards problem. We cannot keep doing that. I am tough enough to stand strong and say, hey, this is what it is. I don't play when it comes down to favoritism. I don't care about favoritism, because in my book there is no such thing as favoritism. We're not going to pay Peter to give to Paul. We're not going to sit down here and put money inside of our pockets as well. And that's what I am hearing inside the community as to what I am seeing. And for what I see is, on top of it, I'm going to add on to the nepotism, is City Hall is being misrepresented by those that are passing it down from one generation to the next generation. No, I will not tolerate that. I have zero tolerance for things that are not legal, things that should not happen, and it's not fair to those that have the education, have the experience, have the qualifications, and are willing to work here and do those jobs when they can. We can definitely have those individuals, especially those that speak different languages inside City Hall, where if those that are Cape Verde, those that are Haitian, those that are Spanish speaking, they can have resources versus calling up a translator and saying, hey, I need you to interpret this, but by the way, you're getting a lower pay in order to interpret this information that you are more than qualified to have this job for.
Just want to switch subjects a little bit. We have a few minutes left. Business. How would you, number one, support businesses that are here already, And number two, bring businesses into the city. You know, everyone's complaining about tax rates and water rates raising because revenues are coming to the city. How would you do that? How would you support businesses that are here and bring new ones into the city?
I would definitely start with those individuals that are here, because there's a lot of amazing individuals that are here that own their own business, and they definitely need a tax break. We don't need to give tax breaks to those multimillionaires that are paying to get inside those properties. We need to have a better understanding. We definitely need to go over the books that are governing
how would you support them?
How I would support them, definitely some tax breaks, and one idea that in promoting their business as well. One idea, I don't remember what business said this, but he is down on Pearl Street, and having a book where all businesses inside there, and giving coupons or discounts into the, giving them more opportunity in order for them to grow and stretch inside Brockton, where we're promoting them even more. That is something that we don't do. We hardly even know what's out here in Brockton. I can tell some folks, hey, have you heard of this? And they don't know about these businesses. We definitely need to do a better job in promoting them. What I seen at the black market over in the mall during Juneteenth, it was an amazing concept where we need to continuously have that, not just once a year, but we got to continuously give them those spaces in order to have those. Also inside, we have beautiful parks. We need to allow them to go into those parks when there's events, have them go to these events and promote their businesses. That's what I really believe that needs to happen here in Brockton.
One of the candidates was mentioning, before we wrap up, is, you know, she wanted to improve diversity within the city. Is that something you would like to do, and how would you implement that to have more of a diverse look that maybe reflects what the community looks like?
Starting from our employment services, first of all, I do believe in diversity. We definitely need to hire a specific amount of individuals from Brockton. Not only that, we need to diversify our languages. Currently, certain languages are not given in the healthcare field. When you call certain agencies, they're not diverse. We need to hire them versus having them translate, because that's a lower paying job when you translate it. Those are almost like volunteer works when you translate it. We need to hire those individuals, not only just Cape Verde individuals. We need to hire more Haitians. We need to hire more Spanish speaking. That is the real culture that's being left out. We need to include everyone into getting these permits as well, into coming into City Hall as well, not just working on staff, but also as public officials as well, into these organizations, small businesses. We need to get those folks in here.
If you want to just kind of talk to the viewers and to the voters, why should they vote you? And as mayor, just one final pitch.
Why should you vote for me is because I definitely believe in equality. I definitely believe in diversity. When I say zero tolerance, I have zero tolerance for what public city officials are doing, not only on our time, but as well as our money. And our money needs to be audited in order for us to get a real understanding, especially with the enterprise fund. We definitely need to get a better understanding of what they are doing in order for us to grow into Brockton. Why should you vote for me is because I don't play around. I am true to my word, as well as I understand what the laws are in respects to having decency and order. Vote for me. I am Eugenie Kavanagh. I am a woman of action. I will continue to grow this community as how I have been doing in the past. Thank you.